Okay, I just got home from the grocery store. I've got all my stuff out on the counter like I tell you guys to do. I didn't put anything away. I just took everything out of the bag and I'm ready to go. Nobody's home, so I'm just gonna crank this out. So one of the things that we talked about is sometimes your kids won't eat the same things that you eat. Sometimes your husband's like, I'm not on this health kick like you are. I don't want to eat these healthy things. Sometimes you find yourself making 14 different meals and you get burnt out and you throw in the towel and you're like, screw it. I'm just going to have pizza with everybody else because it's the only way I can make everybody happy. Here's my suggestion. Bowls. We have so many allergies in my family. It's getting better now than it was before. But everybody eats something a little bit different, and I'm not making 4 different meals. So here's my suggestion for you. Bowls. So what I stick with when making a meal is a protein, a starch, and a veggie. That's what I've got. So all of the time, we're making bowls. So here's my example for this week. This week, I've got chicken shawarma bowls. I've got salmon bowls. I've got drive-through burger bowls. I've got enchilada bowls. I've got taco salad bowls. So literally all that is every night is a starch, a protein, and a veggie. The thing is with a starch, a protein, and a veggie, you can make everybody happy. So let's take the enchilada bowls night. Some people in my family are going to eat that with chips. One person in my family is going to eat that with a tortilla. One person in my family is going to eat that with cabbage on the bottom of the bowl. So with one meal, I can make everybody happy. Let's say one of your kids isn't into cheese. I've got a girl that's like, hard cheese is the grossest thing. Well, she calls it raw cheese. But raw cheese is the grossest thing that she can think of. So when we do something like enchilada bowls, she refuses to sprinkle cheese on the top of her bowl unless she can throw it in the toaster oven first. If she can do that, she's totally fine and she'll eat the cheese. But if you just sprinkle it on her bowl at the end of the meal, she won't touch it. Everybody is different. So rather than fighting with everybody, rather than driving yourself nuts, instead offer a crap load of toppings. So if we're having company like we are tonight, I'm gonna put all of my toppings in a big bowl. I'm gonna get them all set and ready to go. I'm gonna have them in the fridge with a wet paper towel over the top of them. So all I have to do is pull that out tonight. However, when it's my family, this is ridiculous, but I literally just put things on the counter. So sometimes I've prepped the veggies like I've talked lots of times about before. So like my cabbage will all be cut up and ready to go. So it'll be in a baggie already. So all I'm gonna do is pull out that baggie of cabbage. I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna have it on the counter. People can grab out what they want to. They can throw it in their bowl. One girl will grab the cabbage. Another girl will not grab the cabbage. I've got tomatoes to go in the chicken shawarma bowls. I've got the tomatoes to go in the enchilada bowl. I've got the tomatoes to go in the salmon bowl. They're all cut up and ready to go. They're in their baggie or in their Tupperware container or whatever. Glass container, no BPAs, right? So it's in their container. They're ready to go. All I have to do night of is pull those things out and put them on the counter. Now again, you're gonna have people that refuse to eat X, Y, and Z, and people that only wanna eat X, Y, and Z. This way, you're gonna save yourself and your family from your wrath, the frustration of everybody wanting something different. When it's in a bowl, they get to choose their toppings. And what I've noticed, now the girls are 15 and 16. So for me, my girls are 15 and 16. So for me, what I've noticed is that now they're much more adventurous when it comes to throwing things in their bowl. But when they were tiny, they weren't like that. So my youngest has always pretty much been like, she'll eat anything when it comes to veggies and protein. My oldest, no way. Like she didn't like protein or veggies. She likes bread. So as long as I have that starch element for her, she is willing to try a lot more things. So what I found is she hates carrots, but she likes cabbage. So I wouldn't have known that had I not had all of these options out for her to try. So again, my suggestion is when meal prepping and planning, make things with like ingredients. So the cabbage is gonna come out this week for 4 different meals because this whole head of cabbage was $2. So the cabbage is gonna come out for 4 different meals. It's also gonna be in the breakfast hash this week. The carrots are gonna come out for 3 of the meals this week. The tomatoes are gonna come out for 5 of the meals this week. So pull out like-minded ingredient recipes. Not like-minded, but like similar ingredients in your recipes, things that you can easily throw in. So here's another example. We went out to dinner the other day at like a build your own shawarma bowl place, which was awesome. And one of my girls, she loves roasted kale. She's not a big fan of it raw, but one of the options they had to throw in their shawarma bowl was a kale salad. I left it out because I'm not a huge fan of raw kale. Like, I like it sauteed, I like it roasted, but I feel like it can kind of be overpowering raw. She threw it in her bowl. And I was like, oh, okay. I go, how is the kale in your bowl? She was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. But because I feel like with the age that they're at, and because I constantly am offering all of these options, so like here's another random one. I've been cooking rutabaga and turnips nonstop because I'm super into them. They will try them because there's constantly this array of things in front of them for them to sample. Now, if they don't like it, they don't have to get it again. But what I have found with making the bowls is that they are way more apt to try things from a young age. Like, I've been doing this for a long time with them. They're way more apt to try things if they've got a bunch of things out in front of them. So save yourself the hassle. Don't make casseroles. Don't make like a one pot wonder. Make yourself a protein and a veggie and a starch. Offer a bunch of toppings and let your family build their own bowl, because that way you're making one meal, not 17.